feel like you should be, you want to, you've made it your goals in the past to be reading 2 books a week or listening to two books a week on Audible to improve. Instead of, like, for me, I'm old school rock and roll. You know, I'm listening to Hair Nation. I'm listening to Hair Nation while I'm driving, and Stacy's listening to, what are you listening to right now?
Oh, geez, what am I listening to? How to Be Like Walt. It's my 3rd time.
How to Be Like Walt, as in Disney?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. How many of you would like to be like Walt? Maybe
it's all about archetypes.
Be listening to how to, yeah, okay, so that's my point. Okay, and go ahead, sorry.
So I listen to approximately 2 audibles a week. If I'm driving longer, it could be 3 or 4 a week. I read at a minimum 1 book a week. Now for those of you who don't read like that, I'd invite you to just read 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day, make that a goal. Don't make it a time period, just 10 pages a day. So I read 1 to 2 books a week. Courses, I take about 6 to 15 courses a year, virtually, and 2 to 3 live courses a year.
So I love this. This is very typical of entrepreneurs, as we all are up here, and almost all of you are there too. The question was...
Yes, I'm answering that. You asked a different question. So,
personality profiling. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Personality profiling. So there's a few out there. There's Myers-Briggs, which is extremely scientific. There is DISC, which was very good at keeping the science, but reducing the ability to implement it on the streets. DISC, you can take a multitude of different DISC trainings out there. You know, as far as all the bastardization, there's nothing wrong with the bastardization of personality profiling. There's a lot out there. Who here is in direct sales? Every direct sales company has a version of it. There's Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby, Diamond. There's Red, Yellow, Green, Blue. There's Lion, Tiger, Bear, oh my. I'm kidding. You know, there are so many different ones out there. It's just what resonates with you. If you want science, at a minimum, I'd go with this.
Well, and I'm going to add one to that because it absolutely is my favorite one now. Mm-hmm. Okay, so DISC was there. High D, high I. Mm-hmm. My natural style, of course, is a high I with a very high D. Mm-hmm. My adaptive style, I've had to tamp down the D and raise up the I so I don't drive everybody in my life incredibly crazy with my perfectionism and recovering control freak. So... but one of my new favorites is called Strength Finders. Anybody familiar with it? Okay, love Strength Finders because it's easy. There's the 34 strengths and you can delve into a higher level of the personality testing. But for $20 you can do it's by Gallup, you can do the top 5 strengths. And if you're a director in the room, raise your hand, Team Referral Network director in the room, how many of you have taken the Strength Finders test? Almost all of you had to because I've made you. so I love Strength Finders, and it really helps identify the top 5. And I think it was Terry Lee Harrison that introduced me to Strength Finders, right? Yes. Thank you, Terry Lee. Good stuff. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Stacy. Okay. So this question is for Rhonda. What is the difference between LinkedIn and Facebook in terms of social media? Which one is better for business and why?
Great question. LinkedIn is the largest business platform in the world. 92% of B2B leads come from LinkedIn, believe it or not. On LinkedIn, that's where you're putting your professional information. On Facebook, that's all your personal stuff, you know, and it's also, Facebook is a lot harder to sort through than LinkedIn is. If you want to know about somebody, you want to know where they went to school, you want to know what other people think about them, you want to know who they're connected to, because like Jim Rohn said, we're like the 5 people that we hang around with, right? LinkedIn is going to tell you all of that. Facebook, you'll find out their political opinions, you'll find out where they hang out, where they went on vacation, all kinds of great stuff. They're just different. One is not better than the other. I actually believe that LinkedIn is just as good for B2B as it is for B2C. It's an excellent place to find the power partners that Stacy was talking about. If you're a real estate person, connect with a divorce attorney. Guess what? Anybody going through a divorce? They're buying and selling. They're going to be your power partner. On Facebook, The one thing I love about Facebook, which you can also do on LinkedIn, by the way, is the Messenger. If you can't reach somebody, get them on Facebook Messenger. It's like instant. And on LinkedIn, there's a little green dot. If you see the green dot, that means they're online. And there's actually a new feature where you can actually press the button and you can see who's around you and start communicating with them live. But don't do it unless your profile is something you want them to see.
How many of you are scared to death right now that 1984 is alive and real? That's awesome. Thanks, Rhonda. Great question. Okay, Misty, this one's for you. How do you combat sending too many emails in the machine?
Oh, yeah. It's actually, I don't think you can send too many emails unless it's not valuable. If you're intentional about showing up in someone's inbox with value, they want to receive it. If you're just sending stuff to send stuff, you're just adding clutter to their already complicated life, and they're not going to engage in that.
Great.
That was short and sweet, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was good. You like it? Excellent. We'll get some more questions on short and sweet. Okay, so this one's for Stacy. If it's not giving away a major secret, what is its quickest and most impactful way to shift mindset? Want me to read that again?
Yeah.
Okay. Stacy has visited Habib as well, so. If it's not giving away a major secret, what is the quickest and most impactful way to shift mindset?
So, visit Habib, right?
Habib will shift your mindset like that, okay?
So it's really easy to answer. If you're part of the problem, you can't be part of the solution. Okay? I'm going to say that again. If you're part of the problem, you can't be part of the solution. And I say that because so many people come up to me and go, will you NLP me? And I'm like, that's just so dirty. Always
That's worse than Google me, right? Google yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Always practice safe NLP. So, Habib, that's your
We
fault.
really should have done the panel last after we'd done a little more Habib, and then we would have really had a good time here.
So NLP is a do with. NLP is not a do to. And if you're having problems with your mindset, it's not something you can do with yourself because you're part of the problem. And mindset's such a broad topic. I mean, you could be splitting, part of me wants this, part of me wants that. You could have limited decisions. You could have mind chatter. You could have procrastination. Anybody here got procrastination? Mm-hmm. So the quickest way the quickest way to move yourself from procrastination to motivation is to create a chain of anchors so that you can tap into them to catapult you out of a stuck state. So it just depends on what the mindset obstacle is in order to shift. But always remember, if you're part of the problem, you cannot be part of the solution, and always practice safe NLP.
Awesome. Okay, good. Okay, another brave soul finally wrote their name on here. Lori Hance wants to know for Rhonda Schur the best way to get started on LinkedIn for LinkedIn virgins.
LinkedIn virgin. Wow, I love that. The first thing you want to do is create a profile. And here's the best advice that I could give you, and it really applies to everybody. Step into the shoes of your ideal client or customer and write it from that perspective. You do not want to use the words I, me, me.
Yes.
What you want to do is tell people the problem that you solve and why you are unique from everybody else, and take advantage of all of the rich text media that LinkedIn allows you to put on there, so you can put testimonials. When somebody actually says something nice about you, you know what I do? I take out my phone and I go, oh my God, my kids never say anything nice. Do I have your permission to record that? And then have them say their name and record it. So really, that's really the secret. And be complete. And if you are a total virgin, that's why they invented YouTube. Go on there and look up, how do I create my LinkedIn profile? And if you know what, follow it. It's out there and it's free. And then go to an expert and have them look at it. But do it from a client-centric perspective. It's not about you. The hero is the client. And you want to make sure that when you write that profile, they feel like you are speaking directly to them. I can solve your problem. I can shift your mindset, right? I mean, it's really true. And that's my answer.
Great.
And I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, so this one is for all of our panelists, and Misty, I'll go ahead and start with you.
Okay.
What advice would you give to someone wanting to start their own business, but doesn't know if, when, there is the right time to make the jump?
I actually wrote it's more of a pamphlet than it is a book, but the information's there on the 5-hour startup. Actually, before starting my marketing business, I started a photography business for 6 weeks.
Serial entrepreneur,
Right?
You think?
Absolutely. We were exploring our options at the time. And I walked through that. I think the key to starting a business is learn quick, fail forward fast, and like start fires and just keep moving. I think a lot of times when it comes to startups, business owners take a long time to make decisions. You don't have that time. You're out of business before you've made the decision. And someone else has already started started that idea. So just move quick and fail forward fast. Figure out what works, what doesn't, and move forward with what does. It really isn't failing. It's trying and then figuring it out.
And isn't it in some way similar to what we do with marketing too? If we're successfully at it, we're throwing it out there and we're seeing what works and building a plan that will take us to that next level?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't stand up here saying, good news is that we're just going to work together for 30 days and your life's going to change, you're going to make $1 million, everything's going to work and life is going to be perfect, because that's not the reality. I mean, if you think about whenever I ask a business owner, this is the perfect illustration. If you think back of all the commercials you've ever seen, what one stands out in your mind at this moment? Very few.
Right.
Very few, right? I think about the lady, where's the beef? I don't know why that comes to mind, but whatever. So Wendy's has made a lot of
people in this
commercials.
audience, especially our kids from the Business Academy, have no idea what you were
Right,
just
exactly.
referencing.
The little old lady says, where's the beef? All right. Anyways,